Okay guys, these are the 7-7 notes, exponential growth and decay. Okay, so a lot of this is based on what we learned block day in class about how to actually graph exponential functions. So remember, with linear functions, it's a straight line. With exponential, it's going to shoot way up or it's going to shoot way down. Okay, so exponential growth or decay. So exponential growth can be modeled by the function y equals a times b to the x. So we talked about this on block day. So our function that we really care about is y equals a times b to the x. Okay, where a is basically your initial value, b is your growth rate or your exponential growth or exponential decay, and x is the exponent. Okay, so on problem 1, shoot down here. Since 2005, the amount of money spent at the restaurant in the United States has increased by 7% each year. In 2005, about $360 billion was spent. Okay? If the trends continue, how much money will be spent in 2015? Okay, so we can see this right now. Okay, so in 2005, if you were an analyst in 2005 and you would say, I wonder how much money my business will make in 2015, 10 years down the road, we can actually do it, which is kind of fun because now it's now. So this is our function, okay? Y equals a times b to the x. So we're going to let x be the number of years. So the number of years between 2005 and 2015 is 10. Let y be the annual amount, so that's just going to be y, okay? So y equals, let a be the initial amount spent. Well, how much was initially spent? Well, that was 360 billion, so 360, okay? And let b be the growth factor, okay? So b is going to be 1.07, okay, because it tells us that right there. And then our x is 10, okay? So this is our formula, and I want to spend 1 second to talk about how we got this, okay? So growth factor. So if per year they make, it says 7% increase. So what that means is, let's say I make this amount of money. Okay, let's say I make this amount of money, whatever it is. The next year, if I have a 7% increase, I'm going to make that amount of money plus 0.07. Okay, so if this is 100% of the money I made 100 of that again plus 7 more percent, which when we write this as a decimal is 1.07. And we're going to get into that a lot more actually in class on Friday, but hopefully that makes a little sense. So here's our formula. Okay, so now all we have to do is actually just plug that into your fancy calculator. So I'm going to do it right here with you. So 360, if I could type into this thing, 360 times 1.07 carats to the 10th, and that gives me 708.17 billion with a B dollars. Okay, so that is how much money was spent in restaurants in 2015. So last year, okay, based on the 2005 numbers. Okay, so it's kind of cool to see, hey, this is what we were projecting. Did it actually come true? Did we actually spend that much money? Okay, so let's go down here to problem. So number 1, they got it number 1. Suppose that in 1985 there were 285 cell phone subscriptions in a small town. The number of subscribers increased by 75% each year after 1985. How many cell phone subscribers were in the small town in 1994? Okay, so remember, our formula is y equals a times b to the x, where a is the number that we started with. So we started with 285. So y equals 285, okay, times b is my growth rate. So every year I'm taking 100% because I'm growing every single year. So I'm taking 100% plus 75%, but we can't write these as percentages as numbers, so we have to go 1.75. Okay, so once again, 100% as a decimal is 1.00, 75% as a decimal is 0.75. You add those together and we get 1.75, so 1.75. And then my x is going to be the amount of years. Well, from 85 to 94, well, that's 9 years. Okay, so there's my formula. Now all I have to do is plug that into the calculator. So 285 times 1.75 to the 9th power gives me 43,871.98 subscriptions. Okay, so let's talk about this. Can I have 0.98 of a cell phone subscription? Well, no, I can't. Okay, you either have one or you don't. So we're just going to knock that off. And so my final answer is 43,871 cell phone subscriptions. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, once again, we're starting with this, and then we're just kind of filling some stuff in. Okay, that's all we're going to do for these notes. 6 minutes, super easy. Hopefully you guys can fit that into your very busy schedules around here. So once again, if you have questions, hopefully these two weren't that bad. Hopefully they make a lot of sense based on what we do today. So, yeah, have a good rest of your block day.